Welcome to our journey through the truth behind global warming. In this video, we're going to explore and debunk the 5 most common myths surrounding this phenomenon that defines our era. Often misinformation and conspiracy theories cloud our understanding of climate change, but today we will focus on the scientific facts to clear up these false beliefs and provide an evidence-based perspective. Before we dive into these myths, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content that will help you stay informed and prepared for the future of our planet. Myth number 5. Climate change is a natural cycle. It's common to hear that global warming is just one of the many climate fluctuations that our planet has experienced throughout its history. However, this perspective overlooks a crucial truth. Although the Earth has gone through cycles of warming and cooling, what we are witnessing today is different. The scientific evidence is overwhelming. Geological records and ice cores show us that while Earth's climate has changed due to natural processes such as orbital variations, volcanic activity, and changes in solar radiation, the rate and magnitude of the current warming are exceptional. Since the Industrial Revolution, we have released massive amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, primarily through the burning of fossil fuels like coal oil and natural gas. These gases trap the sun's heat in the atmosphere, resulting in an increase in global temperatures. This phenomenon, known as the greenhouse effect, is the main cause of the global warming we are experiencing. Scientists agree that human activity has been the primary driver of climate change since the 20th century. The concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now exceeds 400 parts per million, a level not seen in at least 800 years. This rapid increase directly coincides with industrial development and the intensive use of fossil fuels. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, has confirmed that it is extremely likely that more than 95% of the warming observed since the mid-20th century is due to human activities. Moreover, the effects of human-induced climate change are already being felt. Rising sea levels, the loss of ice at the poles and glaciers, and the increasing frequency of extreme weather events are just a few examples. In summary, while it is true that Earth's climate has undergone natural changes throughout its history, science tells us that what we are experiencing now is primarily the result of our own actions. The myth that climate change is just a natural cycle is not only false, but also dangerous, as it downplays the urgency of taking meaningful action to reduce our emissions and protect our planet for future generations. Myth number 4. Global warming stopped in the year 2000. This is one of the most widely spread arguments by those who question the reality of climate change. It is based on the idea that since the turn of the millennium, global temperatures have ceased to increase, suggesting that global warming is a concern of the past. However, this claim does not hold up under detailed analysis. The confusion arises when short periods of time are taken to evaluate climate trends that develop over decades or even centuries. Scientists warn that it is essential to look at the complete picture and not be misled by temporary variations. Data collected by international agencies such as NASA and NOAA demonstrate that global temperatures have continued on an upward trajectory since the pre-industrial era, and in particular, since the year 2000. In fact, the warmest years on record have all occurred in the 21st century, with a succession of temperature records refuting the idea of a pause in global warming. Moreover, the increase in concentrations of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, resulting from human activities such as the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, continues to drive climate change. It is crucial to understand that the climate is a complex and dynamic system subject to natural fluctuations. But the long-term trend is unequivocal. The planet is warming, and this warming has shown no signs of stopping in the new millennium. Ignoring this reality is not only incorrect from a scientific standpoint, but it also jeopardizes our future by not taking the necessary measures to mitigate and adapt to the effects of climate change. Myth number 3. Arctic ice is recovering. This myth has been propagated despite the overwhelming scientific evidence to the contrary. Some argue that there are times when the ice appears to expand, suggesting a recovery of the Arctic. However, it is important to understand that seasonal fluctuations are normal and should not be confused with long-term trends. Satellite measurements, which have been providing us with accurate and consistent data since the 1970s, along with direct observations, show us a clear picture. Arctic sea ice is declining. We are not only seeing a reduction in the extent of the ice, which is the surface area it covers, but also in its volume, that is the thickness and density of the ice. Scientists use advanced instruments to monitor sea ice, including buoys, submarines, and satellites equipped with radar and laser sensors. These instruments allow us to see beyond seasonal variations and understand long-term trends. And the trend is clear: Arctic ice is losing mass year after year. Global warming, driven by the increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, is the main culprit of this decline. As global temperatures continue to rise, the Arctic is warming almost twice as fast as the rest of the planet, a phenomenon known as Arctic amplification. The loss of sea ice has serious consequences, not only for Arctic wildlife such as polar bears and seals, but also for human communities that depend on these ecosystems. Furthermore, the white and bright ice of the Arctic acts as a giant mirror, reflecting sunlight back into space. As we lose ice, the dark ocean absorbs more heat, further accelerating global warming in a worrying feedback loop. In summary, the myth that Arctic ice is recovering ignores the scientific evidence and underestimates the implications of a declining Arctic. It is crucial that we recognize and act upon the reality of climate change to protect our planet for future generations. Myth number 2. CO2 is not the main cause of global warming. This is an argument we often hear, but how true is it? Some believe there are more influential factors in climate change than carbon dioxide. However, scientific evidence tells us a different story. CO2 is in fact a very potent greenhouse gas. Although it is not the only one contributing to the warming of our planet, its role is crucial. The reason is simple: human activities such as the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation have increased CO2 concentrations in the atmosphere to unprecedented levels in human history. This increase in CO2 traps more of the sun's heat in the Earth's atmosphere, leading to a rise in global temperatures. Scientists agree that the rapid climate change we are witnessing today is the direct result of this increase in CO2 and other greenhouse gases. Moreover, CO2 has a long lifespan in the atmosphere, which means that even if we stopped all emissions today, the CO2 already emitted would continue to warm the planet for many years. Therefore, while it is true that there are other factors affecting Earth's climate, such as solar variations and volcanic eruptions, these are temporary or have a much lesser impact compared to the lasting and cumulative effect of CO2. In summary, carbon dioxide is a key player in the story of global warming, and reducing its emissions is essential if we want to mitigate the most severe effects of climate change. Let's not let myths divert us from the real challenge we face. Myth number 1. Scientists do not agree on global warming. This is perhaps the most persistent and misleading myth circulating in the public debate. The image that is attempted to be painted is that of a divided scientific community, heatedly debating the veracity of climate change and human influence on this phenomenon. However, the reality is quite different. The truth is that there is an overwhelming scientific consensus regarding global warming. Comprehensive studies have shown that more than 97% of active climatologists who publish research in peer-reviewed scientific journals agree that climate change is a reality, and that human activities, especially the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, are the main. This agreement does not come out of nowhere. It is based on decades of research, meticulous observations, and rigorous data analysis. Scientists have used a variety of methods and tools to study the Earth's climate, including satellites, ocean buoys, weather stations, and ancient ice cores. All these methods have converged on the same worrying conclusion: our planet is warming at an unprecedented rate, since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. The world's most respected scientific organizations, such as NASA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, the American Meteorological Society (AMS), and the Union of Concerned Scientists, among others, recognize man-made climate change as a scientific reality. In addition, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, which brings together scientists from around the world, has published detailed reports synthesizing the evidence of climate change and its potentially devastating impacts. In summary, the scientific consensus on global warming is solid and based on a wide range of evidence. The idea that scientists do not agree is a myth that is not only false, but also dangerous, as it delays the urgent action needed to address one of the greatest challenges of our time. It is time to set aside the myths and listen to what science is clearly telling us. Global warming is real, it is caused by us, and it requires our immediate attention. Throughout this video, we have debunked the 5 most common myths about global warming, revealing the truth supported by clear and conclusive science. Now, more than ever, it is crucial that we inform ourselves correctly and take proactive measures to mitigate climate change. Every action, no matter how small, counts, and together, we can make a significant difference in protecting our planet. Don't forget that each one of you has the power to contribute to this change. And remember, if you like the content and want to continue supporting the dissemination of truthful and relevant information, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and let's keep working together.